Hi, bestie. Happy New Year to you all. I welcome you all back to my channel. I am Aisha. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this drip skirt that I'm putting on. Thank you all for your support. God bless you all. If you are new to my channel, kindly click on the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell so that whenever I upload a new video, you will be notified. Stay tuned to the end of the tutorial. These are the material we'll be using for the skirt: beaded lace, shiny mikado, and dollface. I will be cutting the front aspect of the skirt. You fold your fabric into two this way. For the folding, you make use of your hip measurement plus 3 inches. You divide your hip into 4 plus 3 inches to get the folding of your fabric into 2. The length of the skirt I'm using is 42 inches. I will be adding 2 inches to it, making 44 inches because of the folding allowance at the down aspect. And at the upper part, I will need to add ½ inch to it that I will use in joining the main fabric and the lining together. We have 44 and half. You can see, you make it a straight line. This is the upper part of the skirt. I will be taking the waist measurement. You divide your waist by 4. This is the waist measurement. I will be adding 1 inch dart allowance to it. This is the dart allowance, and the inches that you will be using for the inseam allowance. I'm making use of 2 inches for mine. For the hip length, I will be making use of 10 inches because the skirt is an high waist skirt. For the hip measurement, you divide your hip also by 4 and add your inseam allowance to it at the side. I'm making use of 2 inches. You use your French curve to shape it at the side. You connect the waistline and the hip line together this way. I will be taking the new length. I'm making use of 19 inches for my new length. Here, I will be making use of the waist measurement here. I will divide my waist by 2 and add inseam allowance of 2 inches to it. Another way to get your new circumference, you can minus 2 to 3 inches from your hip circumference to get your new circumference. From that nail, you straighten it downward this way. You check if the measurement is okay at that point with the nail. Make sure your material is laid very well. You straighten it downward this way. You cross-check your measurements. I will be cutting it out. Give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends. If you are new to my channel, click on the subscribe button. For the dart of the skirt, I will be making use of 4.5. This is the dart. You notch it at that point. We are done with the cutting of the front aspect. I will be cutting the back aspect. You place the front aspect in cutting the back aspect. This is the center back of the skirt. I had 3 inches to hit at the center back of the skirt. You can see. For the back of the skirt, we will need the button length. You take your measurement at the center back from your waist to where your button curve at the center back. I have 16 inches. I'm making use of 16 inches at that point. I'll come to the waistline. I'll be taking the zip allowance, which is 2 inches. You connect it with your French curve or ruler to the button length. You can see. I'll come to the new length. At the back aspect, I will be taking the 2 inches for the zip allowance and connect it to the button this way. And from the new, you shape it downward straight. I'll be cutting it out. For the corset blouse that I'm putting on, I have a video on that. I'll be dropping the link below for you to watch. We have the front and the back aspect of the skirt. I'll come to the front aspect of the skirt. At the waist, I'll be coming down by ½ inch. You can decide to use 1 inch, but I will be making use of ½ inch for mine. You use your ruler to slant it this way to the side and cut it out for only the front aspect. You indicate the dart this way, 4.5, and notch it. I've cut out the lining. This is it. At the down aspect of the lining, I need to join to it for the length to complete. There should be 2 inches difference between the lining and the main fabric. The main fabric should be longer than the lining by 2 inches. I'll be joining it together this way. You pick the lining and the main fabric at the down aspect. This is the down aspect of it. You pick it together this way and use ½ inch to join it together. First at the down aspect. This is the waist. You pick it together this way, the lining and the main fabric. You use ½ inch to join it together at the waist. You can see. After joining it together, you top stitch on it. You open it at the front aspect and top stitch on the lining. This is it. I've joined the down aspect together and this is the waist. You can see I top stitch on the lining. You turn it back to the wrong aspect. We'll be joining the side together with ½ inch downward. You can see you use ½ inch to join it together. There should be an open of 5 inches at one side of the skirt for us to be able to turn it to the front aspect. This is it. I've done that. I've joined both sides. This is the opening aspect where we'll be turning it to the front aspects. You turn it to the front aspect this way. After turning, You join the opening side, you place sewing on it neatly. You fold it in and place sewing on it from the outer part neatly. I've turned it to the front aspect. This is it. I will need to turn the back aspect with the lining also. Let me do that. This is it. I've turned both the front and the back aspect with the lining. You can see. I will need to iron it. You give it a nice press. This is it. I've ironed it. This is the front aspect. And this is the back aspect. You can see. This is the side and this is the center back. You can see it. I will be sewing the dart. You fold the front aspect into two. We will indicate our dart line, which is 4.5 on both the front and the back. I will be making use of 4 inches for the depth of the dart at the front aspect. 4 inches for the front aspect. This is the back aspect. You place the two on each other this way. You can see. From the center back, this is the center back. You take the zip allowance first, which is 2 inches. After the zip allowance, you take the 4.5 for the dart. You indicate it at the other side. And I will be making use of 5 inches for the depth of the dart at the back aspect. For you to sew your dart, you pick it this way at that point and you sew it downward this way. You can see. I've sewed the dart. This is it. You can see. You can see the shape. This is it. After taking your dart, you iron it. You give it a nice press. But I have not ironed mine. You can see how neat it is without ironing. I will be fixing zip to the center back. For us to fix our zip, you take the zip measurement on the skirt this way. That's where the zip will stop. You can see. Before the iron on the zip. And from that point, you sew it downward to the point where you want the slit of the skirt to start from. I will be taking the 2 inches zip allowance. It's not up to 2 inches again because we have used half an inch to join it at the center back with the lining. So it's not up to 2 inches. That's 1.5 inch left. You measure that 1.5 inch downward to the point where the slit of the skirt will start from. You take the measurement where you want your slit to start from. You can see that's the point where my slit will start from. That's where the sewing will stop. You place your sewing on it downward from the point where the zip stop first before fixing the zip. You stop here. For the fixing of the zip, you open your zip and turn it to the back aspect and place it this way. From the back, you can see you turn it to the back aspect and place it this way. You use your office pin to hold it down before placing your sewing on it. I will place 2 stitches on it. This is the first stitch. This is for it to hold the zip down. And the second one is the main stitch. The stitch will be close to the mouth of the zip. Always be patient when fixing your zip so that it will come out well. You cut out the thread. This is it, you can see. Now we'll be fixing the other side. From the back aspect, you place it this way. Use your office pin to hold it down. And you stitch it twice. Give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends. If you are new to my channel, click on the subscribe button. I'm done with the fixing of the zip. You can see how neat it is. This is the back aspect. Now we'll be joining the skirt together at the side with the circumference measurements. You take your circumference measurement, your waist and your hip measurements. Don't make your skirt too tight at the nail. Allow it to be free a bit. This is the center back of the skirt. I will stitch it together. You pick the inseam seam, the two inseam seam at the center back. You stitch it to one side this way. You can see. You top stitch on it. You fold it to the front. Now you can see it's on one side of it. You fold the one at the outer part, you fold it in. This one, you fold it in this way and place sewing on it downward. This is it. That other one is at the under part of it. It's like lapping. You can see. So now I will need to give it a nice press. This is the draping aspect. For you to drape on your skirt, you check the pattern of your fabric, the upper part and the down aspect. You need to know where will face the down part of the skirt. This is the skirt. I use office pin to pin it at the waist. This is the back aspect of the skirt. We will start our draping from the back aspect, the center part of the back. You can see, you place it that way. At that center, I will add 1.5 inch to it. After the center point, you add 1.5 inch to it because you will fold the edge of the fabric. That's the folding allowance. You check the length of your fabric. If the length is okay with the skirt or dress you are draping on. Your choice of style determines the quantity of fabric you will be using. For mine, I'm making use of 2 yards. For this skirt, I'll be using the lace to cover it all, and I want pleat effect at the center front of it, and I will be adding pleat to the back aspect also. Give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends. If you are new to my channel, click on the subscribe button. You bring it to the center back this way and pin it down. I have some excess fabric, you can see. Now I'll come to the front aspect. I want it to have pleats at this center. I will measure 6 inches downward. Where my 6 inches stop, from that point, that's where I will bring the fabric up, and I will start my pleats. You can see. I'm folding it at the side. You use your pin to hold it this way. I had 3 pleats to hit at that center front. When pleating it, always check the length of the fabric if it's okay with the inner skirt. Before adding the remaining 2 pleats, I will need to hold the fabric down with the inner skirt at the center back with office pin this way. You can see. You come to the center back. I will be folding it and hold it this way first for me to get that center front. You add the remaining pleats to it and check the back aspect. We'll be adding pleats to the back aspect, and you want it to rhyme with the center front. So you need to check it at the back aspect if it's okay. If you want yours to be free, you can add pleats to the waist aspect when placing the fabric on it around for it to be free at the side. But I want my this way. I don't want it to be too free. The reason why I'm adding these pleats to the back aspect, because the front aspect of the skirt and the back aspect of the skirt must be equal in length. So you need to add some pleat effect to the center back for everything to be equal, both the front and the back aspect. For you to cut the excess out, you take the measurement of the excess at the upper part and take that same measurement at the down aspect and cut it out for everything to be equal. I'm okay with it. I will need to cut out the excess at the center back. I've cut it. This is it. Now we need to tack it down at that center. You tack it from the upper part of the zip to where the zip stop first. You tack it on the inseam seam you use in sewing the zip from this outer part. You can see, make sure your tacking is neat. After tacking it to that point where the zip stop, from the inner aspect, you bring the two together from the inner aspect and tack it in straight down. You tack it with your hand needle straight down. can see, bring it together this way and hold it from the inner aspect and use your hand needle to tack it together downward. For the fold of the waist part of the skirt, I use my sewing machine to sew it all around because that part is net. You cut out the excess if there is need and use your sewing machine to sew it all around. And if there is need for you to add pleats to it at that upper part, you add it to it. This is the end of the tutorial. I have a video on how to cut and sew the corset blouse. I will be dropping the link below for you to watch. If you find this video helpful, kindly give it a thumbs up. If you have any question or suggestion, you can drop it in the comment section below. Kindly subscribe to my channel and make sure you turn on your notification bell so that whenever I upload a new video, you will be notified. Watch out for my next tutorial. Thanks for watching. Bye.